Chapter 2, I thought Sacra Blue, unless the duck's adopted soon, the webfoot will get his neck put on a block and lopped in two. They'll cleave and hew him, leave him in root ends like music from Houston. He'll be chopped and screwed. And since Ben, the farm director, told me none of the shelters in New Mexico would give him a rescue home, I thought I'll get my phone and start tracking down assistants acting like a phallic cornea. A private eye. I began an act in California. Hi, you've reached the farm sanctuary. This is Teresa. Yeah, hello, my name is Zach. It's nice to meet you. Can I beseech you on behalf of a creature that I just met, a duck who eluded brutal canine attacks, but still will be hacked up and dined on? It's unfair and unkind and honestly an anti-climax. Somehow he gave the slip to Fangs the Drip with drops of dog saliva. He's an awesome improviser like MacGyver, made it out the frying pan, but still they plan to toss him in the fire even though he's like a barnyard Holocaust survivor. Teresa said, I'm sorry, he really sounds impressive, but male ducks, aka drakes, are too aggressive. Yeah, they can be very, very aggressive. And we have chickens we wouldn't want them to mess with. We got peas to keep. We don't need your duck and our hens going big to big. Yeah, I bet that you could find some other rescue that would help you, but New Mexico isn't known for having too many shelters, no. So when we hang up the phone, I am gonna send over a list of sanctuaries out in Arizona. These places might be willing to adopt him. He's special, gotta get the point across to him. Please take my suggestion when you talk to him. Say that thing about the Holocaust to him. I'm serious. Tell everybody else you talk to he's like a Holocaust survivor. It's gonna seal the deal. Wait, I can't tell if you're joking right now. I'm 100% serious. She sent the list. I called a likely seeming candidate, a spot close to Flagstaff in the Grand Canyon state. Hello, this is Cody. Hi, I met a duck who slated to die after evading a violent fate. Then what the hell? I gave it a try. I said, he basically survived the Holocaust? And crossed my fingers then. Cody said, we'll take him. You can go ahead and bring him in. Teresa knew that line would keep these people from declining. I'm no fan of World War II, but that's a tiny silver lining. Cody went on. You're lucky to connect with me. Lots of places won't take a drape. They can be aggressive sexually. Whoa. The plot had just heated up and thickened. Was that what Ben had meant when he said beating up the chickens? I said, full disclosure, I won't bluff or pretend. I've been told that this duck tends to be rough with the hens. I thought Cody's offer might be shredded to confetti, but instead he said, ha! I like this guy already. Direct quote from Cody. Animal folks are quirky. I didn't question too closely, cause now I had a haven that Brutus would be safe in. I could save him if I could just arrange some transportation. Cause Flagstaff is 6.5 hours drive from the barn where Brutus was stashed at. Not close, no sir, and I wasn't so sure I could find a chauffeur of whom I could ask that. So although Ben had said that all those local sanctuaries were wary of the duck like he was hazmat, I thought it couldn't hurt to take a second pass at. So I called a place smack dab in Santa Fe to have a chat. Kindred spirits, this is Ula. I'll get down to brass tacks. I met a duck who's on the execution fast track. He's a Holocaust surviving sex offender. Think Schindler's List meets Clockwork Orange meets Aflac. He sounds fantastic. We'll take him. Of course, that's a comedically heightened exaggeration. But after all his trials and tribulations, Brutus was in the clear. Except, Ula said, we can't pick him up. You'll have to bring him here. That was no prob. I called Nate. You recall Nate? I said, good news, the duck's saved. We stopped death. We stalled fate. I found him a home close by. He'll be in good hands like Allstate. But he is gonna need a ride there. Could you help out? Could you haul freight? It's right outside of Santa Fe. And Nate said, nice, yeah, okay. I could probably drive that away. Maybe like Friday or Saturday. I won't deny. I felt deflated. I hoped he'd understand and say, I'm so inspired, I can't delay. I'm leaving Arriba and delay. But he was my only chance to save the day. So I said, great, sure, that rocks. What would you plan to transport him in? Pet carrier? Cardboard box? And you will not believe his reply. Oh, I don't know. I guess I'd throw him in my trunk and drive slow. That's not a lie, though. It's unembellished fact. What the hell would have happened if I hadn't asked? Brutus clings to life like superglue, and then en route to New Jerusalem, his pooch is screwed in the boot of this dude's Subaru? I said, gosh, Nate, that kinda sounds not great. Maybe ask around and see if someone has a dog crate, and please keep me posted. For sure, he assured me, but I heard nothing Wednesday, and not a word Thursday. I could feel the momentum melt, slip and drop, tick-tock, close to 12 on the apocalypse clock. Gloom bloomed darkly, doom loomed starkly. To be concluded, stay tuned for part 3.